Hey, this is Tyler with TJack Survival. It is super wet, like dripping wet in the middle of the snow. So we're gonna do some fire starting videos, so stay tuned. All right, so we're going to talk about how to light a fire with a Fero Rod or a Fero rod. And this is space age material. This is not flint and steel because this is Fero Rod and a knife. Okay, so don't confuse the two. Where's my knife? Oh, hello. So the way that this works is you're throwing sparks onto some sort of material. So we need some material to throw the sparks on. You can use char cloth, you can use petroleum jelly that is dipped, cotton that is dipped in petroleum jelly. You can use dried grass, you can use dried fibers. The best thing I have found is cotton dipped in petroleum jelly or char cloth. I have a little chunk of char cloth from the other videos we're using. I also have some dry nesting material here. So I'm gonna use just a little bit of the nesting material. This is the cambium layer, or the internal layer of a cottonwood tree. And I'm just going to use a small amount of this, so I'm not using it all up. But you want it super ground up and super fibrous. If you don't have that ground up fibrous portion, it's not going to take the flame, and it's just not going to start a fire. So I get that ground up enough, okay? Then I've got some other wet fibrous material here, which is the same material. And all I'm gonna do is take this really dry stuff, wrap it on the inside of that wet stuff.
One bar left.
And then just tie it up like that. Okay, that's fine. I'm almost done. And that's where we're going to get the spark. Now, the failure that people have is they constantly take their knife and they use their knife to throw the sparks at the material, right? Don't do that, because you're inevitably going to hit it and knock it out of the road. What you want to do is put your hand down here so that the knife is being held still, and then pull the Fero Rod back. And what it's going to do is drop your sparks right where you want them. Okay, we almost started the fire there on accident. I'm going to use a little of this char cloth too. Okay, so what you want to do, put your blade down low, take your left hand with your Fero Rod, pull it back, right? And that will give you the ability to drop the spark wherever it is that you want the spark to be. Okay, this char cloth is totally wet. Let me add a little more char cloth. And on a side note, if you have the ability to make a fat stick, which is just a piece of, this is a piece of cottonwood that I boiled some pine pitch and dipped it in. Use it. You know, I think I started the fire on accident. Anyway, but you would add that into your nest, and then as it goes, yeah, I started the fire. So I didn't initially see it, but all you're doing is put your hand down, pull the Fero Rod back, okay, like that. And there you see how it actually landed right there, and there's my ember growing. Okay, and that way I'm not going to take my knife and hit it and knock it out of the road. I just put my knife down and pull the sparks back and let them land where they may. Now, since I'm using char cloth for this one, and I've added a fat wood stick, I'll show you how that process works as well. We're going to ignite the cambium layer here, the internal bark, and then that flame will light this fat wood stick, and that fat wood stick's gonna burn like for 5 minutes. So it's a process of ember, flame, long-term flame with your tinder, and then kindling, and then I would argue that that's, you know, fat wood stick, I guess would be advanced kindling or whatever. Blow softly till the flame gets big, and then blow harder until it catches on a roll. starting to run out of char cloth here before it ignites, so I'll add a little more char cloth. I get underneath it because the flame's going to rise, and that keeps the smoke out of my face. And now that that flame is going, you can see my fat wood stick starting to boil. That's going to keep this thing burning for a long time. That is a quick and easy way to start a fire with a Fero or rod, a Fero Rod. If this has been valuable to you, please hit the subscribe button, and snow lands on me. And thank you for watching T-Jack Survival.